Everyone in the universe asking the same questions, which is, who is Jeffrey Epstein? But the real question we need to ask is, how did Jeffrey Epstein survive for decades? Because Epstein didn't operate in the shadows. He operated in plain sight, surrounded by billionaires, politicians, royalty, scientists, and celebrities. Children were abused, complaints were filed, evidence existed, and still, nothing happened, until it did. In this episode, we're going to focus on who Jeffrey Epstein really was, how his abuse system worked, and how power protected him again and again. Jeffrey Epstein's rise makes no logical sense. He had no transparent academic credentials, no clear business track record, no public explanation for his wealth. Yet by the 1990s, Epstein was deeply embedded in elite circles, presidents and prime ministers, royal family members, billionaires and tech leaders, scientists and academics. According to reports, Epstein made his money managing wealth and providing tax and estate planning for ultra-rich clients. But here's the problem. Thousands of people do that. Very few end up with private jets, multiple luxury properties, a private Caribbean island, and unlimited access to powerful people. Money alone doesn't explain Epstein. Leverage does. Epstein's real value wasn't financial expertise. It was access to people's secrets. In elite circles, information is power, and compromising information is the strongest form of power. According to victim testimonies and later investigations, Epstein created environments where powerful people felt untouchable. Private homes, private jets, private islands. No witnesses, no accountability. Once people crossed certain lines, control followed. This is why Epstein mattered. This is why he was protected. Behind Epstein's public image was a systematic abuse operation. According to investigations and survivor accounts, girls as young as 12 to 16 years old were targeted. Victims were groomed, manipulated, and coerced. Drugs and psychological pressure were used. One of the most disturbing aspects was recruitment. Victims were pressured to bring in other girls, recruit friends, classmates, and acquaintances. This created a network-style expansion where the abuse fed itself. Abuse allegedly occurred in Epstein's mansions, his private jet, and his private island. Surveillance cameras were reportedly installed in multiple locations. This wasn't chaos, it was organized. In 2005, everything should have ended. A parent reported that her 14-year-old daughter had been physically abused by Epstein. Police investigated. What they found was devastating. Dozens of underage victims. Similar stories. Consistent patterns. Federal investigators later identified at least 36 minor victims. At this point, Epstein should have faced life-ending consequences. Instead, in 2008, Epstein pleaded guilty to procuring a minor for prostitution, soliciting prostitution. Here's what did not happen. No serious prison sentence, no federal trial, no exposure of accomplices. Epstein served less than 13 months, mostly on work release. From a justice standpoint, this was catastrophic. From a power standpoint, it made perfect sense. This deal protected Epstein, protected anyone connected to him, shut victims out. From this moment onward, Epstein was a convicted sex offender, which means something critical. Anyone who continued associating with him after 2008 knew exactly who he was. Despite the conviction, Epstein kept his wealth, continued hosting elite guests, continued international travel, continued operating his island. Names continued appearing in emails, contact books, flight logs. Some people denied involvement, some minimized contact, some changed their stories. Important truth: being named in documents does not automatically prove a crime, but continued association with a known child physical offender raises serious questions, moral, ethical, and legal. Yet again, nothing happened. Nothing. In July 2019, Epstein was arrested again. This time, federal charges. Sex trafficking of minors, no plea deal. For the first time, it looked like Epstein would actually face justice. Then came the moment that changed everything. In August 2019, Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in his jail cell. Official ruling: suicide. But the circumstances raised immediate red flags. Cameras malfunctioned, guards were asleep, conflicting medical opinions. With Epstein's death, all federal charges were dropped. No trial happened, no testimony, no full exposure. For many people, this felt like the final cover-up. But one person was still alive. Jeffrey Epstein is dead, but his story didn't end with him, because the victims are still alive, the documents still exist, and many names remain sealed, hidden behind redactions and legal walls. No full trial, no public testimony, no complete exposure. For some, it felt like the ending. For others, it felt like something was stopped. But this was never just about one man. It was about access, power, protection, influence, and systems don't disappear overnight. They evolve. In the next episode, we begin pulling back another layer. We'll look at Ghislaine Maxwell, the fight over the Epstein files, the political battles behind closed doors, and why millions of pages remained hidden for years. Because if this was only one man, why were so many doors closed? This story isn't over, and neither is the search for accountability.